What is up, Young Nation, and what is up, newcomers? My name is Brady Young. To you newcomers, you don't know where I am, because if you've watched any of my other videos, different location. But if you're part of Young Nation, which newcomers, why aren't you part of it yet? You will know that this is my brother's house! And it's so empty, and all to me for the next 12 days. Yes, man! But alright, it is Thursday, which means it is a book review day. And again, I apologize because you know how difficult it is to upload. Actually, I'm not going to apologize. You know how difficult it is to do book reviews every week? With how long some of the books are that I'm reading? I'm currently reading another one, Cassandra Clare, because she's my fave. Okay, leave me alone. I'm going to keep on doing all book reviews of all her books until she does not make any more books. But now the one I'm reading, it's like over 600 pages. I'm pretty sure a little bit thicker than mine, and so it's like, I'm willing to read this, so no one could ever say my book's thick, because there's still authors out there today making books that are as thick or thicker than mine, so no excuses. Moving on though from that, the book that I finished of hers, oh, so good, so good. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. Review done, I'm so good. I brought the soft cover one, because my hardcover one, apparently the binding is not holding up as much. The glue is kind of coming apart and I don't like that. So it makes me very scared to take it anywhere. It makes me really sad though I don't have the hardcover, because there's actually one of those symbols like in the Shadowhunter, Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, where there was the S, this one had the M on it for the Bane Chronicles. So this is the book I read, and now this is the book I'm reviewing. As you can see from the title. But this one actually, on the hardcover copy, I should make note, it had the M, which also looked like, it kind of reminded me of a wand with a star at the end, or it could just be I'm seeing things. Just because Magnus Bane with books, he's a warlock, so I think she was kind of doing that like, bippity boppity doo, magic. And I know I messed up the last part, but whatever. But this book, oh, so good. You get a nice look into the backstory of Magnus and just who he is. It did leave me wanting more, though, of knowing his early life, because you find out in what was it? City of Heavenly Fire, I think it is, which is her last book in the Mortal Instruments series. You end up finding out who Magnus's father is, and you find out all these different things about like what his birth mom was like, and his stepfather at the time was like, and with warlocks being immortal, you know, he's outgrown pretty much all of them. Actually, not outgrown, outlived. Sorry, I should correct myself on that. But it's just, I wanted to know in this, because there's been so much talk, okay, I'm sidetracking, but there was so many things that you want to know from reading Mortal Instruments, like, because there was all these things leading to that he was banned from Peru, and there's so many short stories within this about all these different things that he got into trouble with while in Peru. But apparently none of those things were the reason why. He just got a letter saying, or a magical note saying, yeah, you're not allowed to come back here. Which is quite funny. But one thing I would really have loved of all the short stories, because you got to see him dealing with everything back in old-time London, France, New York, and just dealing with all these old acquaintances from the Mortal Instruments books, and just all these different characters. And you got to see how he was throughout the ages, and how he even got to encounter Valentine and his circle in the early days before the time of the Mortal Instruments series. And you just saw how that all was and how the interactions with a lot of those characters were, and you actually get to see him interact with Jocelyn when she brings a young Clary to him. And I didn't realize that Tessa was actually there, because in my mind, when Jocelyn took from the Mortal Instruments books, you have to read it, it's an amazing series, spoilers now, that Jocelyn ended up taking Claire throughout the ages, like throughout her growing up to the age of 16, to get her memories wiped of all these different things of her seeing the Shadowhunter realm, or pretty much just known as the Shadow Realm, and she just wants her child to have nothing to do with that life. And I always thought it was just Magnus there and taking it, but apparently the very first time Jocelyn ever met with Magnus, you actually got to see Tessa. Tessa is from the the Infernal Devices series. I don't know why I said Clockwork. Well, all the books are of Clockwork in them. But whatever. You got to see all these interesting things, and you even got to see Magnus interacting with some of Will and Tessa Herondale's kids and everything. You just saw him dealing with a lot of these different Herondales throughout the ages, and the not so greatest one, Steven, who was part of Valentine's Circle, who they all end up betraying the Shadowhunters because they don't like Downworlders, and it's a whole entire thing. You have to read the whole entire Mortal Instruments series to understand what I'm saying. But all I'm going to say with that is you have to read this. You have to read that series. You have to read every series of Cassandra Clare because it's freaking well written. And this one too, if you do not pick this up along with the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, what are you doing with your life? Like, especially because Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, it ties in to the next series that she's writing, the Dark Artifices, which I've begun that one. I like it already. I think in that one though, I'm only in chapter 3, so it's going to be a while before I finish. Sorry guys. But no, the one thing I would have loved to have seen in this, and if I could write her a letter or somehow get her contact information later on in the future, if I could become best friends with Cassandra Clare, all the things I would talk about her with. But the one thing I would love to have seen in this was how Magnus's very early years were. Just how his interactions with his birth mother and just his first interactions with the Silent Brothers and all these different things. Like, I'm a little sad that that was not put in there because it's alluded to throughout the whole entire book of how the interactions were. But in my mind, it's like, it's good that you're alluding to that. You're giving me more backstory on that, but I actually want an actual story on that. Because this is just another book that's filled with all these different short stories. But the one thing I felt was missing that would have made it so grand would have been that very first story of those early years, maybe his early 20s. That is the one thing I would have loved to have seen in this book. But other than that, it's a beautifully well-written book. It is so funny. There's so many stories that will just make you laugh. But again, you kind of have to read the Mortal Instruments books, and you kind of also have to read the Infernal Devices books. Because otherwise, some of the jokes in there and all these different referencing for characters, you're not going to get any of it. You're not going to know any of these characters. So all in all, read every Cassandra Clare book, because all of them are just so amazingly written. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching, Young Nation and newcomers. Now what comes next is, oh, right, don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to comment down below. Comment if you've actually read any of her books, what you think of her books, or if you plan on buying the books. Because if you plan on buying them, I'm going to tell you right now, do it. Do it. As well, don't forget to share this with anyone that you know that likes reading or even is a freaking fan of Cassandra Clare. Because maybe they'll have some input too. Last but not least, everybody, especially if you're a newcomer, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and when you subscribe, you become part of the Young Nation. Wait, I need to do that over. When you hit that subscribe button, you become part of the Young Nation. As well, when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you get notified when I put out a video. Because, come on, you want to get notified. As well, you guys, don't forget to check out all the links in my description below, because my charity book sale is still happening, and how you can take part of that is go on to my Amazon author page link in the description below. Click on there, you'll get taken to my Amazon author page. And you can purchase either my first book or second book. If you haven't purchased the first book yet, purchase it. Then purchase the second one for either ebook or paperback. And when you do that, 50% of the royalties that I will get from that, well, all the royalties I will get, 50% of the royalties are getting donated to the City Kidz website. Well, not to the website. That would just be weird. To the organization. And that is an organization that helps out kids in my city of Regina, but also in other cities like Ottawa and Hamilton, and they're helping out kids that are in not so great situations. And if you want to know more about them, I've put a link in there in my description below. You can go and check that out to see where your money is going. As well, don't forget to check out all my social media links in the description below, like my Twitch, because this is another day I'm streaming, so as soon as I'm done this, I'm going to probably start my stream. As well, my Instagram, where I will do polls on for videos of what you guys would like to see and what I should do. As well as my Twitter, Snapchat, and my Facebook page. My Facebook page will take you to my Young Books page. Snapchat, just to see what I'm posting, and Twitter, just to see what I'm posting. But once again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have an awesome day. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you all in the next video. Bye!